Hi, yeah. It's Emma and Evie. Actually, Evie is here right on the other side of the camera. She's going to be taking care of the filming work today. As you can see today, I'm in a real live house. And that is because my apartment is just having too many problems for me to film there right now. So I booked it over here with all my books. I lugged them all down flights of stairs, put them in a bag, and here we are. If you have noticed by the title, this is a book haul. I would redirect you if you've not seen my video from yesterday, Saturday, because this is where all of these kind of mystery books came from. Oh, there's my neighbor. Hi, I'm just sitting in front of the window talking to the world. Hi. Yep, have a nice day. But yes, all of these books are novels and really exciting works of fiction that I found in little community book boxes all over the city, those little libraries. So I'll leave the video up above and below because that was a really fun video. I loved doing it. It was such an adventure, like just driving all over the city and finding these books. So if you'd like to watch that, feel free to do so, but otherwise, let's get into it. I have my read The North mug, and I guess that means I should probably start with some Canadian literature since we're here. So one of the books that I found in the book box was Fall on Your Knees by Anne-Marie MacDonald. I have heard of this one, and that's why I picked it up, because I knew it was kind of like a Canadian multi-generational saga, and I've never read anything like that at all. I've rarely seen many Canadian kind of books that span many families and decades and stuff like this. So in this one, we're following the Piper family, and we're principally following the four sisters. We're set on Cape Breton Island in Nova Scotia. And we are following these sisters as they go through their lives. But at the core of this book, there is apparently a big secret that is threatening to destroy their lives if it comes out into the light, I guess, and stuff like that. I'm not too sure what the secret is. Compellingly written, by turns menacingly dark and hilariously funny, this is an epic tale of 5 generations of sin, guilt, and redemption. Yeah, if anyone knows more about this book, I would be so interested because, like I said, it's kind of only a book I've heard in passing since it is one of those big Canadian names, but yeah, I'm just really excited to read it. I've not read any book ever set on Nova Scotia either, and I love very stormy, watery settings. I just love it, and I think this is going to be such a good, dark, grim setting for this tale and this fiction as well, so super excited about that. That is the first one. Next up, we have the book I'm probably most excited for in this book haul, and that one is The Brothers. That is an act of faith. My mom's gonna be so upset if I spill that on her carpet. That is The Brothers Karamazov by Dostoevsky. I have been meaning to get my hands on this book for such a long time. The only Dostoevsky I've read is Crime and Punishment, and if you know, The Brothers Karamazov is his longest, and his most towering novel. So much of The Brothers is about, I believe, Dostoevsky's life himself. In this one, we're following a father and his 3 sons, and we're variously unhappy in different ways. And each son kind of has like their own thing going on in their life. So for example, we have Dmitri, who is passion, Ivan, intellect, and Alyosha, religious fervor. So together this family embodies Dostoevsky's vision of Russia in the late 1870s. Yeah, when I picked this up, I actually had no idea that this was this long, that The Brothers Karamazov was this long, because like Crime and Punishment is long, The Idiot's pretty long, but for some reason I thought The Brothers was going to be a little bit shorter. And this one is the translation by Richard Previer and Larissa Volokonsky. So The Brothers Karamazov as well is set into 4 parts, and then there's an epilogue, but I've just heard so many good things about this book. Like, I feel like everyone adores this book by Dostoevsky. I feel like obviously Crime and Punishment is the one that's probably talked about the most in general and stuff like that, but I think like among hardcore Dostoevsky fans, The Brothers is probably like the most well-loved, and I'm just so looking forward to this. So looking forward to this. I don't know if I should start, like, I know this one is his last, so should I get to this one last, or should I read The Idiot like second? I would love to reread Crime and Punishment as well, but that is that one. All right, this next one probably takes the cake for the most beautiful cover. This one is The Clockmaker's Daughter by Kate Morton. I first heard of this book because I would see it every day when I walked into the bookstore where I used to work, and it would just be there. It's this like very big copy, as you can see. It has gorgeous deckled edges. It has this girl with perfect bangs on the back, and I would just see it and I'd be like, I want to read that so badly. And then when I finally added it to my Goodreads, I was like, yes, that is a book that I want to read, because this is historical fiction, but like it's one of those that bounces back and forth between the Victorian period and modern day, because in modern day we have this girl, I think her name is Elodie, and she is an archivist. She archives things. She works in the archives in London, and she discovers like a manuscript or something like that. No, she doesn't. She discovers a sepia photograph of a beautiful woman in Victorian clothing and an artist's sketchbook containing the drawing of a twin gabled house on the bend of a river. So as she's like kind of uncovering more and more information about this photograph, about this house, she feels super drawn to it, and it's like a very familiar setting for her, and she's like, well, why is this happening? So she starts to research like different people, and eventually the story comes out about this man named Edward Radcliffe, and I believe he was an artist, and he was spending time with a number of different people at this one place in the summer, I believe 1862, yeah. At this place called Birchwood Manor, which is like on the Upper Thames. And by the time the summer is out, I believe someone's been murdered. One woman has been shot dead while another has disappeared. A priceless heirloom is missing, and Edward Radcliffe's life is in ruins. So now Elodie is kind of delving into this mystery and finding out why these things are happening, what the groundwork for this like history was, what's going on, and how she's personally connected to it as well. So I'm super interested in stories like this. I either love or hate ones that bounce back and forth between two time periods, because sometimes I feel like it's wholly unnecessary, but other times I think it's brilliantly done. What's a book that does that? The Prestige by Christopher Priest. I love that one. That's one that jumps back and forth between Victorian London and a little later on, like almost present day. So very excited, and just this book is so stunning. So I really hope it lives up to its cover. Actually, this is like really nice to put. Oh, the aesthetics. Okay, next up we have a book. I think in the video I like saw this, I got too excited, forgot to talk about it, so I'm glad I'm like sitting down to give you some more thoughts on this book, because this is The Hero's Walk by Anita Ravadami. I absolutely I fell to pieces after reading her other book, Can You Hear the Nightbird Call? That one was actually on my syllabus for a course I was taking, kind of post-colonial literature as well as women's issues and stuff like that. It was like this course wrapped up in all of these like really important issues, and we had to read Can You Hear the Nightbird Call, which is also like a story about different people who are coming back and forth between Canada and India. Amazing, highly recommend. So when I saw The Hero's Walk, I was just like, yes, I want to read everything by Anita now. I just love her work. So this one is set in a dusty seaside town on the Bay of Bengal, and we're following this man named Sripathy Rao. His mother is very disappointed in him because he never became a doctor, and his family has some other things going on, like his sister, for example, is kind of like the bane of local matchmakers because nothing's working out for them. His kind of normal day-to-day life that's very much like the same repeated days where he's living in this town is changed when one of his sisters, who's been estranged from him for forever because she moved to Canada, she married a white man, and then they had a child, and so they stopped talking. But now he finds out that his sister and her husband have both died. This intermission is brought to you by the cutest darn puppy outside the window. And Evie's not having it. It's a golden retriever puppy. But yeah, so his sister and her husband are both killed in a car crash, and now their child is sent to this town on the Bay of Bengal, and he has to essentially adopt, look after, and take care of their surviving 7-year-old daughter. So I think this book is just going to be absolutely insane. This won the Commonwealth Writers' Prize in 2001 for Best Book in Canada and the Caribbean, so yeah, very excited about this one. Next up, we have the beautiful Penguin Deluxe edition of Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad. Like I said in the video, I have read this. I read this in my first year of uni, and I definitely want to read it again because, like, well, every year as you read and every day and week, you just gather so much more information, so much more insight, and so much more ability to be able to read like reread what am I trying to say, read a book, but you know what I mean, right? Like I feel like I missed a lot and I can't wait to read this again. And plus this is just such a gorgeous copy, such a gorgeous copy. If you have never heard of Heart of Darkness, we are following a man and he goes kind of on the steamboat trip down the Congo River, and he goes into the Congo and he sees what's going on there. Obviously there's so many problems. We have, I think, King Leopold's of Belgium currently doing stuff in the Congo. Awful things to the people who are living there. We have this man called Kurtz who our narrator is going to find, and yeah, this book is just absolutely crazy. And this one was really nice because it comes with someone's notes and highlighting and stuff like that, and I cannot wait to reread this. So that is Heart of Darkness. I'm so glad that I found that one there as well. This one caught my eye as well. I love these covers and the spine is gorgeous as well. This one is The Tea House Fire by Alice Avery. This is another historical fiction. Hadn't ever heard of this, but I just saw it and decided to pick it up out of the box. So this one is, again, the story of two women and how their lives kind of intersect and intertwine in 19th century Japan. Japan, as it's kind of slowly, almost for the first time I think it says, yes, opening its doors to the West. It was a period when wearing a different color kimono could make a political statement, when women stopped blackening their teeth to profess an allegiance to Western ideas, and when Japan's most mysterious rite, the tea ceremony, became not just a sacramental meal but a ritual battlefield. So in this one we're following an American orphan who comes over to Japan. I believe her name is Aurelia, and she's adopted by the Shin family who own a tea shop. And so she very quickly becomes friends with their daughter named Yukako, and they become like best friends. But of course there's so many problems like in this friendship, and these outside forces are going on in their lives and affecting them as they grow up and stuff like that. So I cannot wait to read this. I might see if I can find like an audiobook as well, because it seems like it would be a really good audiobook, especially if I imagine maybe this is set between the two girls' perspectives. I can't answer the phone, I'm doing hot girl shit. Anyway, so very much looking forward to reading this as well. But yeah, I really hope it's split between their two perspectives because that would be amazing. You guys would have also seen that I picked up a gorgeous copy of The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame. I have read this book, absolutely love it. It's just so magical, so cozy, and this was such a gorgeous, oh my goodness, this is the Puffin Classics, and this book and this story have been in my life since I was little. I remember I used to watch like the VHS over and over again, and Toad would like give me insane fever nightmares. But this is about four friends, they're all animals, and they just get into adventures and stuff like that, so very sweet. There was definitely a lot of Russian literature that I found in these book boxes, which was incredible. So this one is a copy, kind of an older copy of Tolstoy's stories. And this one we have The Cossacks, Happy Ever After, and The Death of Ivan Ilyich. This one's just going to be absolutely perfect for the Dickens versus Tolstoy book club because I didn't have a copy of any short stories yet, and I actually was recently gifted another copy of other of Tolstoy's short stories from a subscriber, so thank you so much. I don't know when I talk about that one, probably in my next vlog. I think that should be up, but yeah. So after we finish War and Peace, which we will be starting in a couple of days, and then we read Anna, and then after that it's kind of just all Tolstoy short stories because he doesn't have that many novels. So this is just gonna be so interesting. I have no idea what any of these short stories are about, and I think like for this book club and for this kind of setup, that's exactly how I want to keep it. So yeah, but I just wanted to show this one as well. I picked up a standalone copy of Romeo and Juliet by Shakespeare. I've also read this, but my only kind of iteration of it is in one of those huge completed works of Shakespeare, and I just don't really love reading out of there. The text, it looks like a little battalion of ants crawling along the page, so this one is just gonna be so much better. I can't believe this was originally 50 cents when it came out, but yeah. Alright, next up I also found Persuasion by Jane Austen. I think, well, this is one of the last Austen books I've not got around to reading yet. This, Sanditon, and there might be another one, I don't know. But definitely have not read Persuasion, so I'm very much looking forward to this. This is another classic that like I don't really know the plot, haven't heard too much about, and I do like to keep it that way. This one's interesting because it says it features a heroine older and wiser than her predecessors in earlier books, and its tone is more intimate and sober as Jane Austen unfolds a simple love story with depth and subtlety. yeah, so you guys should also let me know in the comments what like your favorite Austen novel is, because I feel like I have a pretty good idea of everyone's like probably most well-loved Austen, but I'd be super interested to know as well. Okay, coming down to the last two here, I just like could not pass this up. This, everyone, is the worst book I've ever read in my life. You might think that's an exaggeration, but I promise it's not. This is Tantalize by Cynthia Leitich Smith, and this is awful. This is kind of a retelling of Dracula, in which we're following Quincy, our protagonist, and she is set to inherit her family's Italian restaurant. In this world, there's also like shifters. She's in love with her best friend, who turns out to be a werewolf, and she also has the job of training a new head chef for their restaurant, this guy named Brad, who may have some vampiric qualities about him. This is the worst writing I've ever read in my life. It's just like, it's absurd. It's absurd. You know when you accidentally write something and it's just like absurdism? Tantalize. I've never seen a book so quickly go off every single rail you could ever go off. Tony Hawk, Skate 3. It was just, I can't even put it into words. Like, I don't know if anyone makes like reaction videos reacting to books or audiobooks, but I think I'm gonna do it for Tantalize because I think it deserves it. It was like the worst book I've ever read, but it's the kind where like you're not angry about it, you're not disappointed about it, you're just like absolutely floored that anyone could write this. It's also divided into different parts. We have antipasto, primo, secondo, dolce, and conforno. This book was like equal parts trying to be spooky Dracula, also equal parts trying to have this Italian restaurant vibe, but no one really is speaking Italian correctly. But then the author somehow also really wants you to know that we're set in Texas, so it kind of becomes like a third mixture. Yeehaw. Insane. Okay, last book we have here is Dr. Zhivago by Boris Pasternak, just to finish this little haul up. I've wanted to read this for forever. I've wanted to read Boris Pasternak for forever as well, so I was so stoked that I found it in a book box. So this one was first published in Italy in 1957 amidst international controversy of the international scale. It's a story of the life and loves of a poet/physician during the turmoil of the Russian Revolution. A masterful chronicle of its outbreak and the consequences: army revolts, irrational killings, starvation, epidemics, and Communist Party inquisitions. So it follows kind of this guy's like diary, I believe. Yeah. And I'm so excited to read this. So that is Dr. Zhivago. That is everything. Thank you so much for coming along with me. I hope you had fun. I'd love to take you guys on another one of those tours I did yesterday. I hope you enjoyed this little book haul. I don't know, in April there's gonna be some more book hauls, but as well in April I just want to let you guys know, be prepared for the stampede of content. There's gonna be so much content because I've just been filming so much because I don't have that much else to do realistically, and it's keeping me so busy, so motivated, and I've just found myself with so many videos to get out. So April, like, just gonna be a landslide of Emma content, and yeah, hopefully you like it all. So thank you so much for watching, and I guess Evie and I will wish you a very fond farewell. In the comments, let me know if you've read any of these and your thoughts, and I always love hearing what you guys think. So yeah, I'll see you so soon. Ciao.